Alright, hello everyone. We ended the last lecture where we did the sort, but when we did over here, if you look, yeah, the bedrooms are all sorted smallest to largest, but it messed up our universities over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort this in a different way. And specifically, how we're going to sort it is I want to sort it by university first and then by bedrooms. And that way we can keep it together and do our calculations a little bit easier. So I'm going to go back to this big sort button up here. And remember that what's nice about this sort button is it sorts the entire record. So that entire row is going to get sorted together. And right now we got sort by beds, but what we want to do is let's sort by university. So the first thing it's going to do is it's going to take these and it's all going to sort by university. And then we're going to add a level, because once it's sorted by university, we're going to add a level and then sort by beds. So what this is going to do is it will organize the universities A to Z, and then within each university, it will go and it will organize by the number of beds. So if I hit OK, you can see over here, Arizona University is the first one. Starts with A, it should be. If we go down to record 319. Oh yeah. At 319, you see we switch from Arizona State University to Brigham University. Binghamton University. And you can see Arizona, we went 5 bedrooms, 6 bedrooms. Now we're back to 2. So that's the nice thing about the sort icon, is it allows us to sort entire records. And so now when we go to filter this, we'll have everything together and we won't be jumping over things when we do our calculations. Alright, so let's go and let's look at our university. And I forget what university that we were using here. So let's just go and we'll do UMass Amherst. So we want to go, we'll select that. Let me just start typing in there, Mass. So UMass Amherst. So that's all we're showing. And we can see the beds go 2, 3, 4. We also see the records over here do not jump. There's nothing hidden. That's exactly what we want. So going to beds, and as we said, we do not want to buy a house of more than 3 bedrooms. So we will just sit there and we'll go 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms and OK. And so now we can run our statistics on this. Now I'm actually going to run our statistics on the next page because since there are 6,400 records hidden here, if I start doing my 5-number summary in these cells, when these are unhidden, it's going to break them up and push them down, or if we hide it, things are going to get hidden. So it's best to just do it on another sheet. So let's come over here and we'll have UMass, and our 5-number summaries are min, our first quartile, our median, our third quartile, our max, and then we are going to do our average, which is our mean, and our standard deviation. Now, I'm going to do this all with one equation. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to write 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to use the inclusive version of the quartile, so I can do this with just one equation. So here we go. Equals quartile inclusive. First thing it wants is the array of data. That's on the other page. So let's go back over here. We're going to go to our sale amount. And then there's nothing jumped in there. Now, one thing to be careful of, we are still selecting the array. If I go back to sheet 1, notice that it changed this to sheet 1. Because the first thing it's going to do is it's going to change it to whatever sheet that we're on. So, I either want to close the parentheses if the equation only takes that argument, or in this case, I want to hit the comma to get myself out of the selector. So now when I go to sheet 1, since I'm selecting the next quantity, we don't have a problem. And so over here, I do want to select this A2 because that is going to be a 0, which you can see from the help on the screen will give me minimum value. Now, one thing I have to worry about is referencing here. I do want that A2 to become A3, A4, A5. I do not want B6655 or B6682 to change. So I need to add the $ in front of the column and the $ in front of the row, so neither of them change. In Windows, I can hit F4 and it'll put the two of them in for me. So I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to click anywhere that touches that cell reference. I'm going to hit F4. So now those are locked in and will not move. And then I can go and I can do all 4 of those. Let's put the dollars on there. We'll talk about this here in a second. But I'm going to do average and standard deviation. So this is my cell reference for the stuff that's on the other page. Control-C does a copy. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here to average, and I'm going to type in average. Control-V to paste that reference in so I don't have to do it again. We'll close the parentheses out, hit enter, and that gives me the average. There's a negative sign there, which means something got messed up. I accidentally put a negative sign in when I was putting in the formula. Let's get rid of that. And then we'll do stdev. We want to do stdev.s, which is of the sample, because we're always looking at the sample. Control-V to drop that cell reference in again, close the parentheses, and so there we go. And we'll change those to the number format. All right, so as we're looking at this, this is pretty close to a symmetrical distribution. Means 283, average is 294, so it looks like it's pretty close. And standard deviation of roughly 80. 3 standard deviations would be about 240, so that puts us at, you know, right around 50,000, so close to 0. And then we go the other way, 280. Okay, maybe it doesn't quite hit our max, but it is around there. So it's kind of, sort of, roughly normal. But there we go. Half of our houses that we have are below 283. 75% of them are below 395. So let's compare this to another data set. So what I would like you to do is, let's go over here and look at our data. So our university, if we go, let's go to Kansas State University. What I want you to do is pause this video, take 5-10 minutes, do the same thing for Kansas State University, and then come in the next video we will go over what it is and how to compare the two.